Hi, welcome back to Film Job. I'm Karen Kaufman Wilson, your host, and I'm here with Andrew Roy, who has a ton of questions for me about the business.
With new media coming out, internet's becoming a big thing. There's sites that are popping up like funnyordie.com and like Atom, or like basically little small websites you can put up short films. Is that a good way to get yourself noticed, or is that just a good way to practice and make sure you have your skills honed? Or
What's great about the internet is that at least you have a place to showcase your work, and that's fantastic. You have all the same issues that you have with any distribution unit, though. You've got to drive people to eyes to go look at your movie. So if you're really working vigorously to get people to that site and looking at you, you could become one of the phenomenons that we hear about. If you just have it up on a site and maybe you get 10 hits a month, that's not doing you a whole lot of good. So it's really important, if you're going to use the new media, drive people to your site. You know, if that means getting on MySpace and blogging all the time, or going to other sites and talking about your work, then do it. You know, just drive people there, because that's the issue in just regular films. It's not that hard to get a movie made. It's hard to get that movie into the theater.
Yep, exactly. And throughout your 15 years in the business,
I started at 12.
Started at 12, exactly. I was going to say 8.
I appreciate that.
You basically worked yourself up from the bottom. You started off with Danny Glover.
Yeah, I would start off as an assistant to the director of development at Danny Glover's company. And the director of development is responsible for finding material for the talent of the company. If it's a writer, if it's a director, if it's an actor. So I worked as her assistant for about a year.
For about a year, and then from there you went to...
Then I used to go out a lot before I had a 3-year-old. And one of the people that I used to talk to at parties was a guy named Reggie Hudlin. And Reggie had directed House Party. And we would sit in the corner and just talk about different comedies and what worked and what didn't. And so it was completely on a social basis that we knew each other. And he called me one day when I was at the office and said, "Look, I'm working on this movie called Boomerang. It's starring Eddie Murphy. We're in post-production. Do you want to come be my assistant?" Now, there was no deal in place for him to go on to his next movie, nor do you have a production company set up. So I was going to have to leave a job that I had been at for a year, that I knew I could stay at for a while if I wanted to. Or I could just take the chance and roll the dice and go work 3 months with Reggie, and that's what I decided to do.
Great, yeah, because I mean, it's very easy to have an okay job at a studio and just kind of stay there and get comfortable and not really move on from there, but it takes a drive and ambition to take that leap.
You have to be a risk taker. I mean, if you aren't willing to take risks in this business, go work in corporate America.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense. And you could, I mean, some people stay on someone's desk, meaning they'll work for somebody as an assistant for 10, 15 years. That's not me, and that's not most of the people that I meet that are really striving to reach pretty high goals. So that means you're going to take risk, and it's tough because, you know, you're a college graduate. You know, let's say you went to one of the fancy Ivy League schools, and your friends are working on Wall Street, buying their first condos, driving BMWs, vacationing in St. Bart's, and you're making, you know, $300 a week, living in your little crappy barely a 1-bedroom, driving the Honda, you know, holding together with Band-Aids. But the thing about it, on any given Sunday, your whole life can change.
Exactly, just like that.
You can be working for someone, they invite you up, they ask you to bring a script up, and next thing you know, you're chatting it up with Colin Farrell, and he's your new best friend, and you're his director of development. So that's the great thing about the business, but that's also the downside, because you don't know when that chance is going to happen.
The uncertainty, and but you have to be willing to take that. Because, for example, my friend, he's a writer, and he works for a trailer company. And it's a very good job, and you know, he's able to make trailers and all that stuff. It's really great. But then he got offered a job for very much similar, like 3 months, you know, just doing this writing for a little website that does, like, puts up shorts and all that stuff. And it's only for 3 months. After that, he's not sure what's going to happen, but he quit his job and took the plunge to try and further his own career to try and make it happen, because you have to be willing to do that.